5 races behind us. After tonight, 5 races to go. So tonight truly is the center line of the season. The point race has tightened up, and there have been 4 different winners so far. All the ingredients are there, so fire up the oven to 425 and let's cook this pizza. Presented by the Cruise Shop and sanctioned by the Bootleg Racing League. It's round 6 of the Outlaw Modified Series from Southern National Raceway. And you can see all the simulated SK Modified action from green flag to victory donuts live as it happens here on the Global SimRacing Channel. Hello everyone and welcome to another GSRC broadcast. Soup and Crackers, Sean Crackers Ambrose, along with yours truly, Bill Soups on, bringing you our Bird's Eye View. Joe Peak has director duties, armed with cameras, locked and loaded by Dougie Beard. All right, Crackers, you probably don't know this, but I have a personal connection with Southern National Speedway. Want to hear about it?
I do.
All right, I went to school at Wilson High School out here in California. Now, the city of Lucama is in Wilson County, North Carolina. A coincidence? I think not. And you know what's in Lucama City? Southern National Speedway. So it's like I was born there. Now, for some more information, let's go to you on some track details.
All right, Soup, let's do it here. Southern National Motorsports Park, as you said, Lucama, North Carolina. You know, we're just a few miles off of 301 and I-95, 581 just down the road. You know, this track, listen, 4/10 mile oval, asphalt, of course, 17 degrees in these turns, 7 degrees in the straightaways. It's about 70 foot wide, this racetrack. They'll get just a little over 100 miles an hour heading into these turns. You know, it really is one of the more historic tracks in this region here in North Carolina. They only opened back in 1993, but there's been a lot of history encapsulated in that short time. Notable alumni, including superstar and Daytona 500 champion Denny Hamlin raced here. A former Xfinity driver Scotty Riggs and Jamie Caudell, a late model stock car great. And Soup, again, a lot of history in a short time here. They even closed for a couple of seasons and came back from the ashes. And here we are tonight. SK Modifieds with the Bootleg Outlaw Modified Series on track. Let's hop on board for another GSRC lap around Southern National Motorsports Park.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global SimRacing Channel. My name is Brian Yazek and I'll be taking you for a spin around Linear Raceway in the GSRC SK Modified. Going into turn 3, we're going to be finding the yellow line right here on the bottom, but not try to get too much into the gas to let that rear of the car step out. Right back into the corners, down to the yellow line again. You'll notice from this lap guide that you are pretty much always constantly turning. So it's going to be interesting to see who can save that right front tire and not abuse it too early so they can have something for the end of the race. Once again, find the yellow line, back out into the middle of the corner, right back onto the brakes, back to the yellow line. You can kind of run a little bit up off the yellow line, but not too much because there's not a whole lot of banking up on the top side of the track to save you in case you get a little squirrely. So back down into turns 3 and 4 one more time, kind of split the seam right here, find the yellow line, and you have just completed 4 very quick laps around Linear Raceway. It's going to be a great race, and the winner is going to be the one who decides that they wanted to save their right front tire the most. This has been your lap guide around Linear Raceway. I'm Brian Yazek.
That lap guide, as well as everything on this broadcast, sponsored by the Cruise Shop. You know, the Cruise Shop, been in operation since 1986. You know, they're a team of highly experienced travel agents that have a huge passion for travel. They specialize in cruises, all-inclusive resorts, escorted tours, Disney vacations, family travel, group vacations, trips to Cuba, Soup. You can go to Cuba. You can call the Cruise Shop. They'll send you to Cuba. Honeymoons, weddings. Listen, they'd love the opportunity to help you plan your next vacation. Call them today, 260-755-6125. Now, who picks up a phone and calls anybody anymore? Go to their website, thecruiseshopfw.com. That FW stands for Fort Wayne. They're in Fort Wayne, Indiana, but they can help you worldwide. The Cruise Shop, dedicated to fulfilling their clients' dreams, one destination at a time, Soup.
You know, we're halfway through this season. Can we possibly get honeymoons and weddings, the order of that changed to weddings and honeymoons? That's really bothering me. Let's talk to Brenna out of the...
They're rushing things. They're rushing things.
Yeah. Let's ask Brenna at the cruise shop if we have permission to change that, because it is really bothering me. She'll take care of you out there. Give her a call. She just got back in on a cruise. Hey, let's go ahead and look at the point standings. You want some excitement? How about this? Joshua Banks, now he's been leading the whole way. He won early on, been hanging on to that lead. But here he comes, J.R. Shepard, now only a point back on the heels of that victory last time out. How about Donnie Moore? He had a good weekend, didn't he, Crackers? Donnie Moore feeling good about life right now. Yeah, as the Patriots pick up the Super Bowl win, and the New Englanders only 11 points out, sitting in third. Nick Zotner falls out of the tie for third now in fourth position, but still within striking distance. Hey, and welcome to the overlay, Chris Passini, as he makes the top 5. Good to see that. All right, that talks about what's going on up front. Let's go ahead and look at the event details. Pretty much always the same, but let's take a look at it.
Yes, Soup. Let's look at those details now. This, of course, round 6. You talked about 5 races behind us. Well, we have arrived at round 6. Buddy passed, well, yeah, we're past the halfway point. Halfway past the halfway point. 100-lap race tonight. No tires allowed. You cannot come in and change those tires. Most of these drivers have adjusted their files, so the car will not go up on the jack. Now, this is the iRacing fixed setup for this SK Modified. It's a good one. Cars are awful fast. A lot of speed on this track tonight, Soup. The limited late model race that preceded this one, one caution in that race. They were glued to the track, buddy. A lot of grip here tonight. The NASCAR Lucky Dog in play. You will be able to use that this evening. And, well, of course, Soup, the big change this season. Yeah, we're in gridding the... we're in gridding. In grids. We're gridding this week, as we do every week, from the top 12 results of last week. And Soup, who's that pole sitter again?
I think it's Mike Allen. If I have my memory right on this one, I think
you are correct.
So he'll be up there. That's going to be a good one. That's the first time we've seen him up front. And what's interesting is it'll put J.R. Shepard with the win's going to go back to 12th, but Joshua Banks will not be nearly that far back, as he did not have a great result last time out.
Yeah, and Soup, I don't know. Remember last week when we thought we saw a car go up on the jack?
I remember that.
That was Justin Allen. Yeah, it was Justin Allen. And you know what? Unfortunately, that was a tire change, and he is sitting out this one tonight on a 1-race suspension because of that. Yeah. So
well, that's severe, boy.
Yeah, they were playing around with that one. That's kind of an important one. So, unfortunately, yeah, he's not going to be with us tonight. So,
well, in his defense, I'm going to say he just had the wrong boxes checked. He would not do anything sneaky. That was just an honest mistake. But boy, they don't mess around here in the Bootleg Racing League. You
no,
pay
sir.
The price.
No, sir. No, sir. Lowell giving us all kinds of great information this week. Well, let's just say Scotty Zerk, another newcomer to the league. Well, Scotty is probably one of the elder statesmen in the series now, Soup. So I got to admit, I was a little surprised. I don't want to say his age. I'll say it again. He's one of the elder statesmen in the league.
Okay.
And, pretty impressive. He's an awful fast driver, and hats off to him for being out here and running with us week in, week out now.
Good to see. Would he qualify for the? Let's just limit it a little bit. Would he qualify for the over 50 category?
Absolutely.
Is that safe to say?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he would. Yes, he would.
Good to see Scotty.
He would qualify for over 60 as well. So.
Oh my! Wow! Hey, way to go! It's making me feel like a young man here.
It's all right. Let's just say he's probably about my dad's age and was probably racing modifieds just about the same time my dad was. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, while we ramble about our age, our director's kind of cycling through all the drivers that are out there on the track, looking at Ruben Ortiz right now. Of course, there is no qualifying. Practice already. This is his practice. Go.
I was just going to say, Ruben right now, 4th in practice, Soup. And, you know, Ruben, another one of the newcomers to the Bootleg Racing Series. And, man, he is I'll tell you what, I love the speed we're seeing. It's the Virginia drivers. It's the attack of the Virginias, man. These guys can drive these modifieds. They can wheel it.
Yeah, well, if any state should be good at it, you would think it would be Virginia. This is kind of where this kind of came from down here. There's Chris Bassini making the top 5. There he is, racing out there in the number 15 machine. Chris going to be starting a little further back in the field today after a good finish last time out.
Yeah, Chris in a newly painted Esports Feeds SK Modified tonight.
Let's do a Shanowski count. I see only one today.
Only
Looks
one.
like Matt's.
Matt, and I'm not seeing Tim. Yeah,
Okay.
He's missing his wingman soup.
He is indeed. They ran together last time. They worked like brothers until Tim left Matt behind at the end of the race. Matt out there in his familiar 00 car.
Yeah,
So-
and listen, Matt's one of those drivers we've got to watch every week, Soup. We know what he can do behind the wheel of that car. Always out here looking for a win, but not a lot of practice laps in here so far, so he's just kind of getting at it and not a chance to really work on any speed here yet with just about 2.5 minutes left in practice.
Speaking of brothers, so it's the best of times and it's the worst of times for the Allen brothers, right? As one of them's going to be starting on the pole and the other one, I guess, is going to be watching.
Yes. Yes, that is indeed correct. I like that what you said there, the best of times, the worst of times. I seem to remember that from a certain movie. Star Trek fans everywhere going nuts right now, Soup. Thank you.
There you go. Looking at the driver sitting in 11th in practice right now. It's Mike Allen. He'll be up on the pole. It's fun to see how long they can hold off. Some tracks, it's so hard to pass that if you're on pole, you can hang on to it longer. Some of them, last time out, boy, my goodness, that track put on a good show. Where were we last time?
New Smyrna, buddy.
Oh, man, that was
New
fun
Smyrna,
to watch.
yeah. Yeah, they're lighting up down there right now as we speak, running New Smyrna tonight, Bronson Speedway. Volusia was running earlier today. They were running dirt wing sprints and everything at Volusia. I think they've got a full car tonight. Lots going on down there in Florida right now. But tonight here on the Global SimRacing Channel, we got SK Modifieds for you from Southern National Motorsports Park. J.R. Shepard flexing his muscles already here early in practice, Soup, with basically a 13.6 top speed of a little over 106 miles an hour. So they are flying. You know, I talked about the grip here. Soup, 17 degrees of banking. We've got an 89-degree track right now under these nighttime conditions here, buddy. This is going to be a fast one. I think what we saw in that limited late model race a little while ago was encouraging.
Oh, yeah.
They had 17 cars. We've got 19 here tonight. Sarah Maria Spiller is back with us this evening. She's here, got about 30 laps of practice in, ready to go. This field, all about ready to go, is now we've got 30 seconds to go in this practice. It is a little windy, gusting up to 12, 14, 15 miles an hour at time tonight, Sue.
And how about poor Lowell Jewell? Was started on the pole last time out, ran up front for most of the race, got turned around, scored almost no points. He's going to have to do the work again here tonight. But with only 19 cars here, it shouldn't be that hard to get to the transfer spot, as only 7 will be denied. I love the regrid. I love it, I love it, I love it. I can't imagine this series. If they didn't do the regrid, it would be basically a parade for 11 races here, because get those fast guys up front. This makes for some great racing.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's certainly been tough on the defending champ this season.
Oh, yeah.
J.R. Shepard is, we finally saw him get a win. We know he can do that still, but boy, they haven't come quickly. Here comes the grid.
All right, let's show you how they line up there. I'm going to go through a couple names because Sean's going to have some big names to talk about. I'll take the front row. It's Mike Allen. We talked about him. Dustin Powers is going to be flanking him on the front row. How about row 2, Sean?
All right, that is going to be the number 11 of Ruben Altus and double odd of Matt Shanoski.
Yeah, Matt Shinosky right behind him is the points leader, Joshua Banks. He only has to come from 5th this time. Look for him to get to the front quickly. But right next to him is Chris Bassini. He'll be fast as well.
Row 4, New England's own. Send your hate mail to Donnie Moore, the number 26. J.R. Shepard, the champ, number 98, will start in 8th tonight.
Yeah, because of a few no-shows here tonight, he gets moved up from 12th to 8th. That's going to work out well for him. Kurt Smith and Todd Liston go in row 5.
Scotty Zerk in the 02. He's going to start 11th right next to the boss, Lowell Jewell in the number 3.
Jason Menda in the Baker's Dozen spot. And how about Chris Forster? He's always fun to watch. He'll be starting 14th.
All right, then we go down to row 8. It's going to be Robbie Robinson, the Illinois driver, next to James Lowe in the number 98. Another Virginia driver there, Sue.
Out there in the 21 machine, John Hine. He's going to be inside of Chris Wolfson. And then the last car out there is our girl, Sarah Marie Spiller. 19 drivers taking the field today. Round number 6, Bootleg Racing League's the Outlaw Modified Series. It's fun to call these. The lights are off the pace car. It will be pulling in this time. You know what to do. The attention's on Chris up front, and his Mike Allen. Chug-a-look, makes you want to holler, hide it. Oh, look at the charge that we got from Dustin Powers. The 25 on the top side trying to steal the front. Don't get together, guys. They almost banged. They separate now. And it is Allen who's going to hang on to it. Driver in 3rd on the low side. Ruben Altiz hanging in there. The double O of Matt Shinosky gets a great run off of 2 and now leads down into corner number 3. Racing 2x2. Sean, they're still at it.
Yeah, buddy, all the way back through the midfield, now at the back of the pack. They've kind of spread out a bit, gone a line astern, but in the wall.
That's the 25. That is Dustin Powers. He was making the topside work as long as he could. How about this, though? He hangs on to 2nd. You know,
pretty good there.
I was on the mic a long time waiting for the guys to get it sorted out, and it just never happened. And they are still from 3rd back, 2x2x2x2.
Wow, and boy, Ruben Altus really digging down there on the bottom. Got great grip right now, able to hold that spot, keep everybody in his mirror. Power is going to try and get it around, though. He's almost there, and he stalls out in the middle of the turn. Oh, what a mistake by Altus.
And having getting into his nose. Oh, and then he gets turned. It was the 36. He's going to save it. Joshua Banks. He had to get on the binder, so he stayed out of Altus. Then he got touched from behind. The car got sideways. He kept it going straight. We stay under green.
Boy, poor Jason Menda, though, man. He hit the end of that pit wall, Soup. Big damage to the car. Finds himself now all the way back in 17. Got the replay here. That's the 45, Menda, right there.
It was kind of the accordion effect, and then he got turned.
Got to be right here after the turn here. They'll get into him. He's going to come around, gets hit again, and then boom, right to the end of the pit wall. The left front drives it in there. I don't know how he's wheeling that car around at the moment.
Come back live, go up front. Now, Allen had opened up about a 3-car length lead on Matt Shinosky, but Allen got loose on that. He has a hard time coming off of 2. He's really weak on that one in the 59. And Shinosky's all over. And here he comes.
Oh.
Matt the veteran's going to dive it down in there. And did he get credit for leading that lap? He did not. Now let's see if he can get any momentum on the low side. The top side is not that bad. And look at that. Allen fends him off.
Great battle up front here. Dustin Powers trying to hold off Chris Bassini just behind them. Allen gets a great run off the turn, Matt. Not so much. Here comes Dustin Powers.
Yeah, the 00 was playing with Allen, and all of a sudden, the 25 snuck in there. Dustin Powers now started 2nd. He's got that 2nd position back. Shinosky and the 00 stuck on the top side, trying not to let him in. It's the 15 car of Chris Bassini. Bassini's got him.
Matt got up in the wall. That's going to allow J.R. Shepard to get by. Here comes J.R. Bassini going down low, Soup.
Bassini takes a bite with the 15. They are side by side. Cielo's Bapto's out of 4. The nod is going to go to Dustin Powers. Can he hang on? He's made the topside work so far. The momentum up top. I think they burned up their tires down low. How long can he keep on the low side without heating up the rubber? The 15 is trying to do it. He cannot get it done. Once again, Powers gets credit with leading the lap. Back there watching the whole thing happen is the 98. Oh, my goodness. The 15 gets really loose, but he keeps the momentum going.
Boy, JR just got a tremendous run down into turn 3. Piscini's got that modified wound up right now, bringing JR Shepherd right along with him. Shepherd looking down to the inside. And it was a little bit too much bite there.
Has trouble getting the power done, but I think the 98 is going to be able to secure it now as they go down into 3. Working the outside is Dustin Powers.
And Soup John Hine elected to come down to the pit lane and get that spare car off the truck this evening. Uh-oh.
And maybe we see him going up on his jacks. That's not good. Plead ignorance. Twinkie defense. You had too many Twinkies. You didn't know what you were doing.
Now, listen, Mike Allen's going to have a lot of work to do here in just a moment, Soup, because, well, he's got Wolfson just in front of him, Chris Wolfson, and then Sarah Maria Spiller. They were all back behind that incident in the first few laps of the race, but here we are, 23 laps in, and here's Chris Piscini getting the drive down the backstretch into 3.
Yeah, Allen was enjoying the calm out there in front while all the nonsense was going on behind him. Piscini says enough of this. He's got him side by side now going into 1. The low side is all about getting the bite off of 2. The top side carries the momentum, and that is what happens again for Mike Allen. Boy, he gets really close down to the 15. They manage to stay off themselves, and look at that. Allen's hanging in there.
Think JR's having any fun behind this right now?
Oh, my goodness. Chris Wolfson up ahead of him saying, go ahead. What do you got?
No, it's just that JR giving a little bit of the chrome horn there to Mike Allen. Trying to maybe give him a little momentum so he could run with him up on that line. But Piscini is winning this battle down low.
He got there. I was worried they were not going to be able to sort it out before they get to the lap traffic, which is coming up. Something we don't see very often. Some bumping and banging going on, but we are still green.
And Mike Allen got a little bit of the wall coming out of 4 last time. Just a scuff. But here comes JR Shepherd. They are now side by side, heading across the front stretch down into 1.
Oh, there's the spin. Maybe contact from Shepherd. Maybe the car just got loose. Is that going to bring out the yellow? It does. The car going around was our pole sitter, Mike Allen. Did they?
Boy, I don't know, Soup. That was awful close. It might have been. What I'm seeing is a possibility of the right front making maybe a little bit of contact with the Nerf bar, but boy, it was ever so slight. Nah, I don't know if it was enough to really get that car around, but sometimes that's all it takes is a little tap. Mike Allen going to fly it all the way back to the back of the field as a result of that. Fighting for a win, and now he's going to be fighting for his life to just get back up there.
Yeah, even if there was contact, I don't think any blame could go to J.R. Shepherd. He had the car about as tight as you could have it on that low line. Well, Allen does a good job of hanging in as long as he can, but when it goes south here in the Outlaw Modified Series, you're in Antarctica before you know it. Chris Piscini is going to be on the pole, or on the front. J.R. Shepherd is going to be on the outside. Usually I would worry about that, but I like the way the outside line is coming in right now. This could be fun.
Yeah, it does. It does seem to be running pretty well, Soup, so we'll see. But, Piscini getting some great news before the race. The race started. His dad, Tony, checking in, letting him know that their team won the ARCA race down at Daytona today. That kicks off Speed Weeks is the big ARCA race, and Venturini Motorsports took the win there. Harrison Burton, young man there from North Carolina. So a great race for them, and congratulations. But Piscini's got his work cut out for him. The champ is in his mirror.
You want to watch some fun racing if you're a stock car fan. Watch those ARCA races at Daytona. They always put on a good show. Those are so fun.
You know what their slogan is?
I don't know. What is their slogan?
We have great brakes.
Okay, got it.
Some will get that. Some have no idea what I'm talking about. But anyway.
Well, I have no idea what an ARCA car is, but the show they put on they get a lot of value for the dollar of those cars.
They're downsized old cup cars, basically, is what they are, or Xfinity cars, basically.
All right, we're going green. Here we go. Chris Bassini brings them to the working lap number 34.
Oh,
Shepherd
Donnie Moore.
on the outside.
Donnie Moore got contact with Dustin Powers. That shoved him up into the wall, and Donnie's now struggling. Matt Shinosky all over his bumper.
Boy, Shinosky on the high side trying to make that work as they fight back there, working for a position. More bumping and banging, but we stay green, yes.
Oh, no.
no,
Joel in trouble. Lowell gets in trouble.
I think it's Mike.
Scotty Zerk. I think he made contact with Scotty, actually. They were going side by side through turn 3. Yeah, Scotty got in a little hot, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's two separate incidents because I think Mike Allen is also involved in one.
Well, that was right behind him. Yeah, Mike got into it with Jason Menda, who's having a horrible evening. And then, yeah, the incident with Lowell was just in front of that.
So what started off so peaceful has got a little ugly here.
It really did. Going back to that first incident where it looked like there was maybe some right front to the Nerf bar, it wasn't. There looked like close contact. We go back and look at it again, but that one there, definitely contact and definitely a melee. A lot of cars involved in that. A lot of cars having to take a pit as a result of it.
There we go. All right, let's set the stage now. Up front, tell you what's going on. Chris Bassini started in 6th position, has worked himself up to the front. Likewise for J.R. Shepherd, started in 8th. He's going to be outside of row number 1. The outside line seemed to work okay. Now, how about this, Sean? Dustin Powers, he started on the outside of row 1. He's really the only guy he's hanging up there really nicely. Started in 2nd, sitting back in 3rd, doing a good job.
Yes, sir. Doing a good job indeed. Alta's still hanging on back there. James Lowe coming from deep in the fields got himself up in the top 10 now, Soup. So, and that Forster guy that you mentioned earlier who's been so good this season so far here early, new guy in the league and has run really well. He's up 5 spots, got himself in the top 10. So a lot of guys doing well.
Honestly, action seems to find Chris Forster. We could just put a camera on him and he'd be showing himself.
Right.
Pace car is in. All right, Chris Bassini gets a good jump. Shepherd has nothing for him, but they file in 1-2. Back behind. We talked about Dustin Powers. He's hanging into 3rd, more bumping and banging. The 11 of Ruben Altice drops into 4th, trying to tuck underneath. Todd Liston.
Boy, and Liston was a little loose off of 4. That car started to come around right next to Donnie Moore. He's tight off of 2.
Yeah.
Todd really struggling with it at the moment here, Sue. Trying to find the line.
It's scary when the car you're trying to go around is having a hard time keeping the car low, and that's what's going on with Todd Liston right now. They have to try to go around the top side of him. If he gets into trouble, he's getting right into you. One of the guys trying to make the top side work is Joshua Banks. Banks in the wall. He got a little bit of help getting there as he ran out of room. The car right in front of him, Chris Forster. Up in front, they race in order. Bassini, Shepherd, Powers, Altice, and Donnie Moore. Moore looking to the inside of Altice right now.
Oh, boy. Donnie ran up the track just a little bit. Had to get out of the throttle. He had to crack it there just a little bit. Altice able to hang on. Not for much longer. Here comes Donnie Moore down the front straight into 1. Looking for that spot. Go to P4. Give it to him.
And he gets it. So, boy, he's having a hard time. Can he finish it off? He does. Boy, that number 11 will not give it up. Todd Liston now brings it down underneath in the 87. We ride on board with Liston right now, looking at Altice on the top side.
Boy, Ruben really driving it well off the top to stay there, but Liston clears it now as Ruben a little bit late or a little early on his breaking point that time in a 4.
Liston up 5 positions, having a great run in the 87. Way to go, Todd. Up front. He's beginning to work on him now. Look at Shepard try to test out these lines. I'll try to go a little late in here. I'll try to dive in the corner. He's figuring it out. He does not have the same racing line as Chris Bassini. Watch him into 1. They're a little closer that time.
Yeah, a little bit closer. But now I think those two have a little bit different idea how they want to run this track right now. And JR is always taking care of his equipment. Look at the battle for P3, though. Powers, Donnie Moore going at it here on track, side by side.
Moore down low in the familiar 26. 1 number less is Dustin Powers in the 25. It's a dead heat at the line that time. Boy, you don't want to stay on the bottom too long and burn up your stuff to try to get that spot.
Soup, we've just about hit this halfway point. These guys have been running hard on this one. I told you, a lot of grip in this track and a little bit of room to get around, but most of this has been pretty well behaved as we've only picked up 2 cautions.
Well, I like New Smyrna, but this place putting on a good show too. I like racing here. Moore gets the pass made. Powers now in 4th, Liston in 5th. Boy, they are clicking off the laps. You are right.
Yeah, indeed. Suggestions being made. Well, we know what 20 to go is. Maybe we should figure out something for, well, the halfway point, Soup. So, I don't know. There's only 1 disco ball, so we're going to have to figure something else out.
Hey, we got lap traffic to deal with. Chris Bassini
yes, we do.
The back of
yeah, and Chris Wolfson just lets him go. I mean, Wolfson wraps the wall a little bit there in a number 7. But, yeah, Chris just let him out of the way. You know, Chris Wolfson, along with Matt Chanotski, those guys have had a busy day. They ran the Bathurst 12-hour for Western PA Racing, and, well, Soup, they won their split. So Matt and Chris already climbing the podium. They had Ron Henry, a certified wheelman indeed, and Kenny Kibbe of Bootleg Racing League fame with them in the car today. So congratulations to those guys.
Donnie Moore dipping underneath. Chris hungry like the Wolfson. How about that one? You like that one? Let's go to P7. Look at this.
And Shinoski tries to take the position. Then he wraps the wall. And then James Lowe gets the position back. All the while, Chris Wilson was trying to stay out of the way as they were coming through. Matt got to get that car down a little bit lower if he wants to hold up this charge from Robbie Robinson.
Haven't talked much about Robbie this race. Having a good run. Sitting in 11th right now. Just ahead of Jason Menda. You like Jason Menda right now? He's scheduled to start on the pole if things stay the way they are, which they never do with 37 laps to go.
Jason's had a really tough race too. I mean, that would be a win for him starting on the pole next week.
We don't need to go there, but I'll just tell you, Chris Bassini picking him up and putting him down 0.7 of a second on Shepard now.
I listen, big Chris Bassini fan, but it's still just way too much time. You know, JR's just sitting back there waiting.
Good battle for 4th. Dustin Power, Todd Liston has been working his way through the field.
Yeah.
Liston in that dark blue machine. I guess it's blue.
Yeah, no, it is. Absolutely. Yeah, blue and red. And you know, we haven't talked about him enough, but here he comes.
Up 5 spots already into 5th position from his 10th place starting place. And now he's working on the back of Dustin Power aggressively. And your points leader, Joshua Banks, back there. Now, right behind, there's that orange 11 up on top. That's your pole sitter, Ruben Altis. Oh, let me correct myself. Ruben started 3rd.
Sorry, big trouble in front of them. That was Dustin Powers. A little contact with the 36. Now they're too wide.
Forward contact, yeah. Liston wants that. This is the best battle on the track. We think maybe Powers got a little bit of the wall out there.
Oh, in trouble for Ruben Altus, and it's contact with him and the 99 there, James Lowe. Back in the middle of turn 3 and 4, Sue.
And I'll tell you, James Lowe, I think was low. I don't think he did anything wrong there. I think.
Yeah, I don't. It looked like he was in his line. It looked like Ruben. Maybe the car started to rotate a little bit too much there.
Yeah, James Lowe, and then Altus. Well, he came down on him, but did not leave him any extra room. That's for sure.
On board with Lowe here. Watch the front wheels. It does look like he holds his line there just fine. It just, like I said, it looks like the 11 there just rotated a little bit too much, a little bit more than you needed it to, and that little bit of contact gets him around.
You really can't ask for the guy on the low side to do much more than that. Well, that's very interesting now, because that's going to put Shepard on the outside of Piscini. And I tell you, it brings back into the picture, into the conversation, the number 26 of Donnie Moore. Moore is fast. He just had to use up so much of his stuff to get there.
Is Donnie always in the conversation if he's on track? That generally is. So I'm not talking to him tonight, by the way, Sue. I'm making that statement now, so nothing to really sports-wise to speak with him about. So.
Hey, talk about more. I'm going to tip of the hat to Dustin Powers. We haven't seen a lot of him this season. He gets the nod to start outside of row 1. He does a real good job of staying up front in 4th now. Unfortunately, he'll be on the outside. The real guy to watch, Todd Liston, in that 87. He has been doing a good job.
Yeah, and he'll be back to battling with Altus again. So, I don't know. I'm sorry, not with Altus. The 25 with Dustin Powers. Yeah. I am really interested to see if Piscini can continue the pace. Maybe that was for real. Maybe he really was outpacing J.R. Shepard. I think we're going to find out a little bit on this restart here, Sue.
Probably the disappointing race of all those guys as they get ready to go green is the 36 of Joshua Banks. Our points leader has not been able to get much going here today. Great jump from Piscini. The 98 trying to make the top side work. J.R. Shepard gets some good momentum. Donnie Moore tries to get underneath him. Moore is going to get enough down there that Shepard's not going to be able to come down in.
Trouble back there with Liston and Banks got together. Avoided the wreck, but boy, Banks tumbles through the field.
Banks does a little more contact with Forster now. We talked about Chris Forster, 14th to 5th. Woo!
That happened. I missed that.
Great racing going on in the back for the transfer position. They're single file up front. Robbie Robinson sitting in 12th right now.
Boy, I think Banks has got big right front damage on that car. He's really having trouble. Car keeps washing up the track on him. Yet it doesn't seem like it's turning now.
Back in 12th right now, which is fine. He'll take a 12th. That'll put him on the pole. He doesn't want to lose one more spot. Up front, Chris Piscini, Shepard, Moore, Powers, Forster. As they come across the line. Sean, what time is it, baby?
Maybe it's time to drop that disco ball down. It's an all skate. Everybody on the floor. It's time to boogie. Let's get this party started, Sue.
I love to boogie when it's green, and that's what we're doing right now. 19 to go. It is Piscini, Shepard, Moore. Don't give up on J.R. Shepard. He's looking for a way around the leader right now, but he's feeling good knowing that Banks, his biggest rival, is having a horrible points day, and he's ahead of Donnie Moore, who sits 3rd in the points. It's going to be a good result for Shepard.
Is this the night we see the number 15 Eastport Feeds SK Modified get to victory lane? We're getting close, Soup. Can he hold off the champ for 16 laps? Oh, and a very determined Donnie Moore, who's not given up on a thing yet. Is he starting to get a little bit closer to J.R. Shepard? In
the biggest injustice since the church in prison Galileo, Piscini was robbed of a win when the yellow flag came out seconds before he took over the lead. Right now, he'd like to get that one back, the 15 out in front. Shepard, Moore, they have left Dustin Powers behind. Forster up to 5th. He seemed to have leveled off there.
Yeah, and Matt Shanowski's dropped back, Soup. The car struggling a bit with it, trying to keep James Lowe from getting that spot.
Racing up front, stretching out a little bit. I want to take you back to 12th position. This is your points reader. Joshua Banks, he's in a fight for his life right now with Kurt Smith. Kurt's already started on the pole once. He needs one more spot. If he can get around Banks, he'll be on the pole. What a huge difference for Banks. That next race, starting on the pole or starting 13th. And he's working right now in the back of Mike Allen.
And they are really scrambling back there. Lowell Jewell making a move on Scotty Zerk. Lowell's trying to get up here. He wants to get to that 12th spot.
Powers put it in the wall. That's going to allow Forster to get 4th position. Powers really hit the wall hard. I don't know if that car is going to keep going.
Yeah, nice bet to give it up to Matt Shanowski coming around the top side, trying to get it away.
When Powers put it in the wall, it hit and it hit and it hit, and he lost all of his momentum. They're going to go around both sides.
Oh,
Powers to the inside.
Powers and James Lowe hit hard. Inside wall there on the back stretch. Both of them bury it in there. Soup with 9 laps to go.
Well, they were trying to put the toothpaste back in the jar. I'm not sure you can do that on short track racing. They were trying to go around the top and the bottom. That's right. I said the jar, director. I know
the jar, right. You know what you're doing. It's the jar. Everybody's toothpaste comes in a jar. Boy, it's been a great race. That's only the 3rd caution we caught. That's it.
Yeah. I don't know if Chris Bassini actually needed that caution to come out. I think he's feeling pretty
he's not happy. He's not happy. No, he's probably pounding on the panini there on the dashboard. I need to work on my phrasing, by the way.
You do. Yes.
I just brought the room down. I'm so sorry.
There's just no coming back from that.
I know, Soup.
Anything I say will get me in trouble, so I'm just going to move on. Chris Bassini, at least when he goes green after this yellow, he'll know that at least he'll be in the lead. He's got to be thankful of that.
Well, I mean, we'll restart with what? 3 laps to go?
I think
4 laps
3,
to go here? Yeah, 3 laps to go because I think they'll go 1 more here with the lights on. Yeah, they're going to let them loose with 3 to go probably. So Bassini's basically going to get 1 shot at this. Or, I don't know, Bassini's going to get 1 shot at it, or is J.R. Shepard going to get 1 shot at it? They made a liar out of me. The lights are off, so 4 to go when we hit the line soon.
I think the guy to watch out for is the guy on the inside of row 2, Donnie Moore. His only opportunity to get to Shepard is to stick on the tailpipe of Bassini. Yep. Let's see what the 26 can do. He's already there. He's on him right now. No room at the end for J.R. Shepard. Great jump, though, from both the drivers up front. In fact, oh, my goodness.
Oh, boy.
He'll get a run off of 2. That means Bassini won't be able to get up into the top lane. They're going to be side by side. This could be a forecast of what will happen on the final lap. That time it was Bassini, but only by 7 1/1000ths of a second.
All yours with 2 to go, Sue. Take it away, buddy.
Bassini down low in the 15th. Let's watch the momentum this time from the top side. And this time it was Shepard who got the nod. Who's going to win this thing? I don't know. Shepard's starting to fall off. Donnie Moore, there's room if he wants to dive it down in there for 3rd. He's not going to get it. They come around. It's going to be the white flag this time by. Shepard puts it in the wall. That could be all Bassini needs. There's a touch. That's Moore gets into Shepard. Shepard is losing points left and right. What was a 2nd place finish is now going to be a horrible finish. The win is going to go to Chris Bassini.
The New Yorker gets his first win here in the Bootleg Racing League. And Forster's actually going to wind up coming home 2nd, Soup. And Matt Shanowski, after his trouble, he'll round out the top 3. Wow.
I said
what a finish.
It's a quick trip to Antarctica. J.R. Shepard finishes 14th. Oh, my.
Here's that replay, Soup, of the incident. And it's going to be a little bit of bumper contact there between Moore and J.R. Shepard. Both get it sorted out, but J.R. comes down off the wall. And as they're trying to avoid that behind him, I think somebody else got around there that actually brought out the caution.
We're going to look at it one more time. We're going to see if we're going to watch Donnie Moore get a little bit airborne. Whee!
Hello.
There you go.
Remember to spay and neuter your pets.
Yeah, you got to get me with that one. Well, that was darn exciting. We have another new winner, and this time it's Chris Bassini. The racing is over here in South Carolina, but our broadcast, it's far from done. We'll take a short break, but we'll come back to run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers. Don't want to miss that before we put a lock on the gate. Back in a few. Sanctioned by the Bootleg Racing League and sponsored by the Cruise Shop, you're watching GSRC's coverage of the Outlaw Modified Series, Round 6 here. And the results are in. Let's go ahead and give you that from Southern National Motorsports Park. Chris Bassini started 6th, picks up 5 position to get the first win of the season and our 5th different winner so far. I told you he's exciting. Chris Forster, 14th to 2nd, the drive of the night, and he did it quietly. Matt Chanowski, brotherless here today, goes from 4th, finishes on the final podium position. Todd Liston up 6 spots into 4th. Jason Menda, 13th to 5th. Boy, a lot of movers here. How about Robbie Robinson, another one, as he goes 15th to 6th. Mike Allen started on the pole, hangs on for 7th. Donnie Moore was racing up front, trying for the lead, got together with J.R. Shepard, brings it home in 8th, just ahead of Kurt Smith. Lowell Jewell in 10th.
All right, Soup, I'll get the rest here real quick. It's going to be Scotty Zerk. Actually, the Virginia drivers all finished right next to each other here. Scotty Zerk, that 11th place spot. Joshua Banks, next week's pole sitter, the 36th, will finish 12th. Ruben Altus finishing 13th. Tough race for Ruben. Ooh, I would say even tougher for J.R. Shepard as he finishes outside the top 12. We'll be starting in the back of the field next week. The number 98, 14th. James Lowe, 15th place run for him tonight in the 99. Saw him have a little bit of trouble. Of course, Dustin Powers had his share of trouble as well in the 25. He'll finish 16th. 17th, got to go to Chris Wolfson. Sarah Maria Speller, unfortunately, things ended early and not well for Sarah, so an 18th place finish for her. And John Hine is going to finish out this 19th car field this evening at number 21. Just couldn't get things going this evening, Soup. But I know you are going to talk to a pretty excited guy right now, New York's own Chris Bassini.
Well, the racing gods owed you one, Chris, and I think they gave it to you tonight. Way to go. Those yellow flags came out. You were able to hang in there. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you. It's finally.
I thought the track put on a good show along with you drivers. Where were you able to make the pass? Did you do them all down low, or were you able to get some done on the top side?
Actually, I was able to get one low. Because when the tires are cold, you got a lot of grip on the bottom, but when they start to heat up, you get too tight down there. So I made a pass on the top, pass on the bottom, and I think the rest were on the bottom. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to make too many tonight.
Those early laps back there, 1 and 2, they sort of separated it out. Then it was from third all the way back, 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 for maybe the first 4 or 5 laps.
Yeah, it's been rare that I've been up front in these things, so I just had a bunch of tunnel vision, so I never really kind of looked behind me. And JR was closing in, which that one restart on lap 38, 40, somewhere in that range. He cut me quite a few breaks because I was hitting that apron, sliding it loose, and I was lighting up my rear end, and he gave me plenty of room to keep it under control. So I want to thank him for that one.
Well, let's go to the last restart before the final yellow there that came out. I thought, boy, he timed it perfectly. You guys were like synchronized down into one.
The restart zone here is so small unless you back off the base car a lot, and I was kind of close, and he timed it. The moment I decided to hit it, I heard him on it, and I was like, oh no, here we go. I'm like, if he's outside of me going into 3 and 4, I'm like, I'm going to struggle. And I think one lap, I think he ended up getting a little tight out of the corner, and that was just enough to squeak me by.
Yeah, he did. You led one lap, and he was able to get the next lap. It was really close, a great fight at the end, and then it all went your way. Hey, congratulations. You are our 5th winner in 6 races. That's the sign of a good series. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Soup.
Chris Bassini, your winner here today, and a good interview. Sean, who you got?
All right, well, I'm catching up with Matt Shinoski here. Matt, a pretty good run tonight. He puts himself on the podium. Matt, congratulations. Big day for you guys. Lots going on.
That's right. Right before this race started, we just finished up the 12 hours of Bathurst, and we were in one of the lower splits, but we were able to take home the win, and it was awesome.
And man, split is not important. You win the 12 hours of Bathurst. You won the 12 hours of Bathurst. I had said earlier that was you and Chris Wolfson, another guy who had a busy night. The great Ron Henry. What a wheel man he is, huh? And,
yes, he is.
Kenny Kibbe.
Yes.
Yeah, so a bootleg / former bootleg racing league team there for Western PA. That was quite an exciting day. Then you hop in the modified. You put yourself on the podium. A lot going on out there. Really fast race tonight.
Yeah, that race was really intense. But first off, I want to say congratulations to Chris Bassini. That win was well-deserved. It was a long time coming. And I also want to say to our other road race team, we were running 2 cars. They were in a much higher split, much more difficult. But the team of my brother Tim, J.R. Shepard, and Ben Wolfson, they finished 4th in their split, the much higher split. They did great.
Oh, man. Wow. Okay, so Western PA was all over it today. Well, congratulations to you guys, man. That's really cool. Always great to get you on the podium. Always great to get a word with you. We'll see you next week, and maybe you can put that thing up front next week.
Well, we'll try. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it.
All right. That is the great Matt Shinoski, and boy, great. Again, like I said, just great to see him on the podium this evening there, Soup.
Before we wrap up, I want to talk about one last thing. I want everyone to take into consideration when we get to the final race how important this one was. With 2 laps to go, J.R. Shepard led the race and his nearest rival, Joshua Banks, in the points was in 13th out of the transfer position. After the spin, Shepard falls to 14th, and because of that, Joshua Banks vultures that position, moves up into 12th, and will start on the pole. So it was just could not have gone any worse for J.R. Shepard.
I know, it's just terrible. I know, it was really not a good evening for him.
And there's not a lot of tears shedding for the multi-time champion
I'd say, hey, listen, Soup, this has been a great season. 6 races we've got in the books now, and there are a lot of drivers in this series smiling right now for the first time in, well, quite a few seasons. So, things are not coming easy for JR. It's going to be very, very tough for him to defend that title here at this point. But, boy, I can't wait for these last 5 races.
And here's how it's all possible. It's because of the guys at the Bootleg Racing League. They organized this Outlaw Modified Series, and they contracted with us, GSRC, to broadcast. And boy, we're glad to be on board. You want more information about Bootleg Racing League? Hey, maybe you want to race with them. Well, you can check them out at facebook.com/Bootleg Racing League or bootlegracingleague.com. Now, the other reason we're able to bring you all this exciting action is because of the cruise shop. You can call them at 260-755-6125 or visit them on the, what do they call that thing? The World Wide Web, that internet thing. You do that at the Cruise Shop FW, that stands for Fort Worth.com. Go ahead, talk to Brenna. She'll get you set up with a great vacation. And remember, they do honeymoons and weddings in that order. On screen now are some of the equipment and software used to stream cyberspace into your place. The original music that lets your ears alert your eyes, hey, you're watching a GSRC production. That comes courtesy of Eric Eckel and June Lalonde. See the screen to how to contact each of them. The Bootleg Racing League will return in 1 week for now it says round 6, but I don't think the producers updated this. Round 7, and it's going to be from, if I scroll down, hey, we're going to an old favorite. We'll see you at Lanier. If you're an iRacer, you know about that one. You don't want to miss that. We'll be there. We hope you join us. If you want more information about GSRC, well, you can find it at globalsimracingchannel.com or check us out on social media. That is Twitter at GSR Channel, Facebook at Global SimRacing Channel, and Instagram at GSRC_Gram. Also, if you haven't done so yet, become a YouTube subscriber by heading over to our webpage and hitting that big red button. Finally, on behalf of the entire crew, Crackers, Joe, and Dougie, I'd like to thank everyone for watching, as it was indeed Chris Bassini picking up the first win of the season for him and our 5th winner here at Southern National Speedway. With that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, pause for dramatic effect, and we'll see you on the track.